A little whiskey for the Friday nights, as we have something to celebrate. More about that in a little bit. Excited to share it. Now I'm also excited to watch some fast, high-level competitive StarCraft. You guys are overwhelmingly voting for SpeCial. I don't know about that, guys. I'm kind of rating HiGhDrA. I think HiGhDrA is quite good these days. I think he's very motivated. Protoss is good. In my eyes, this is going to be very close and competitive, but maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Are you guys right, or am I?
Let's get it on.
Oops. Let's get it on into a sec. What is this? Deadlock? We pausing in the first 5 seconds of the game. Hello, Zitranier. Thank you so much, mate, for the 28 months. Looking forward to seeing you again this summer. The 27th of June. Every excuse is a good glass for whiskey, and tonight is special. And to be fair, the entire month of February went without. I had a wine here and there. I finished a very old bottle of vodka that was kind of bothering me because it was taking up space in my kitchen. I was like, well, if we're going without whiskey, then we may as well finish it. But yesterday we picked up some whiskey, and today we have one. Alright, round one.
Round one, fight.
Top right side of ley lines, we are looking at the main base of our Dutch Protoss. Once upon a time, a member of Team Roddy, loves the StarCraft, is still very passionate, and is ready to go all out this year to get better results than he's ever gotten before. A young man from the Netherlands, it is HiGhDrA. How did I do? Pretty good, mate. Honestly, I think you did pretty good. Can't really blame you for not expecting 14 Mutalisk at 5 minutes after opening up with a Stargate. That happens to the best of us, but you were solid. You had some good plays. I'm happy for you. I think Mr. Bitter overestimated his own abilities a tiny bit, because he said up to 4K I don't expect any issues. After seeing these games, I expected some issues. I asked him for replays, so I could have had a better idea for his skill, but then he wasn't home and he couldn't send me the replays. But he said he was undefeated on the ladder after the placement matches, and it was all going well and he felt good. So I was like, alright, I'll give him 3-8, 3-9. We'll see how it goes. It's not 4K, but that's alright. We had fun, and that's all that matters. Bottom left side of ley lines, we are looking at the main base of our Mexican Terran. One of the best Terrans that North America has ever had. Perhaps the best. This is SpeCial. Of course, matey. But if you ever get invited again, Holy Squid, after 2 wins, you know the drill. It's going to get a whole lot tougher. You might have to get ready for Pi after all. You know, Pi has done so much community work lately. He's been such a good boy. He's adminning on the Monday nights. He's helping out everybody. So perhaps that Holy Squid versus Pi match is actually going to happen in the Big Brain Bouts. Pi is definitely going to be a little tougher than Mr. Bitter. As much as I love Ben, I think if Mr. Bitter would ever find that time where he could play like 30, 40, 50 games, then maybe you could do a rematch once for fun. It doesn't have to be in the BBB, but it can just be on a community day where maybe I can do something for Mechabellum, and then before the Mechabellum thing, we can do the rematch between Mr. Bitter and Holy Squid. I think that'd be kind of fun. But right now, I wouldn't do it yet. Mr. Bitter would need some time. That I was seeing things? What were you seeing, Vicky? Asha, Miss P. We've got a Zealot storming to the other side of the map. SpeCial has gone for a very quick tech lap, guys, and a Marauder opening. Is that in time to save his SCV? HiGhDrA, I think, is distracted by the Adept on the other side of the map, which is a shame, because he could have killed that SCV and that would have caused a tiny bit of a delay on the command center. That is a minor missed opportunity, guys, for HiGhDrA. I would, by the way, always get an early battery here. Like, he doesn't need it right now, but I would get it sometime soon. It's the last thing you ever want to find yourself, or the last position you ever want to find yourself in, is 2 Marauders running to the other side of the map, tagging a Stalker, concussive shells, you can't save it, no battery, and you just cook. HiGhDrA agrees he's gonna get the battery, and that makes sense. If you're talking about Demo, that Ben, I mean, Englishman, American Ben, too many bands. Demo has played in the Big Brain Bouts a couple of times, and honestly, he's done quite well. He actually beat Pig the last time I think he played. And who else did Ben beat? I feel like Ben got 2 wins and 1 loss. Maybe he played against... No, it was Cats who beat Pig. I don't know who Ben played. But Ben, honestly, he always looked good. Like, I love to tease Demo, and I will always make fun of him. It's my job as his good friend. But when it comes to his performance in the Big Brain Bouts, I gotta give it to him. He actually always looked good. And I did challenge him, and I asked him to play me. Because that is the match that everybody wanted to see back then. And he said I would be easy, but he didn't want to play me because he needed to practice before he could play me. Well, we'll make it happen one day. But yeah, Dan was still a gamer. If you're playing Age of Empires on such a high level, you're not suddenly going to be bad in Starcraft. That's not a thing. He's still damn good. Yeah, you know, it was a 3-0, exactly. 3-0, I think they had a game on Amphion, sorry, Royal Blood. I think that is the map pool that Demo and Pig played on back then. And Pig was actually pretty damn good at that point. A lot of people thought Pig was going to win the series, but Ben won convincingly 3-0, and he looked good across the board. Good micro, good macro. That bald man from Nottingham still has it. Bit of an odd start here between these two. When SpeCial spoke to me about playing this series, he said he's been playing a bit more and he definitely thinks he's going to do better than he did last time. Because last time SpeCial played, it was against Chem, our Mexican friend. Chem obviously a bit of a goat on the Friday night, except when he goes up against Uthermal. Big Mark was a little too much to handle. Against everybody else, Chem has looked phenomenal. And one of those opponents was SpeCial. SpeCial's gonna hit HiGhDrA here with Hyperflight Rotor Banshee, and he's gonna play Mech. Mech against Protoss in game 1. You guys know how I feel about Mech. There will be a lot of Twitch fans out there who will say that Mech is the worst thing ever. You can't possibly win with Mech. And then I ladder and I get cooked by Goody. Goody and his 44 APM. He's played like 3 games in the last 5 years and he still cooks me with a bunch of tanks and hellbats. How ironic, by the way, that it's SpeCial who's gonna hit HiGhDrA here with Cloak Banshees in game 1. You guys know SpeCial's famous quote is, they never see it coming, they'll never expect the Cloak Banshees. Guess what? Game 1, Banshee shows up and it starts killing probes because the observer is in the middle of nowhere. Predictions for new R1 season? I'll get back to you on that after we see how this Banshee does. And this is so rough, by the way, for HiGhDrA, because he's opening up with like Colossus and Zealot Charge, but none of that is particularly good against a whole bunch of Banshees. 1 Banshee in the main, 1 Banshee in the natural. Rough start to this best of 5 for the Dutch Protoss. The good news is he's playing against Mech, so he will have plenty of time to recover. The bad news is he's going to have to deal with multiple Banshees with Hyperflight Rotors. They're going to be so quick. They're going to be everywhere, and I think it's inevitable that you're going to lose a lot of additional workers. I would not want to be in this position. I already hate defending against Banshees with regular blink, but if the Banshees have speed, oh, you bet your bottom dollar that I'm going to get a couple Phoenix. Whether I open up with a Stargate or not. Because trying to deal with that stuff when you just have Stalkers is absolute hell. Hell for the Protoss. So predictions for the new F1 season. My original prediction would have just been that Red Bull was going to cook and Max was going to cook. But I know that Red Eye is not just a fan, but he's like a mega fan. You know, he's someone who's really into it and he knows a lot about it. And his prediction was that Red Bull is going to be quite mediocre this year. And that has scared me a little. So maybe it's a Ferrari year. Maybe it's Lewis's year. I'm excited. I don't care who wins. If it's Ferrari, I'll be kind of happy for the Ferrari drivers. I like both Lewis and I like Leclerc. I'm not really rooting for McLaren. I'm not a big McLaren fan. I thought that they have been kind of annoying over the last 2 years. If I have to choose, I would pick Piastri over Lando, because I don't know. I know Lando is nice, but I don't know. I'm just a tiny bit of an anti-fan, I guess. I'm not a hater. I wouldn't go that far, but I don't know. I still think that Max is gonna be very competitive, and we'll have a shot at winning it all once more. But I think after the first race weekend or the second race weekend, we'll know a lot more, right? It's hard after a couple days of testing. That doesn't really say a whole lot yet. Let's see when they're actually going to Australia. When is it? In 2 weeks from now. It's a lot of things to look forward to. 5 Banshees with Hyperflight Rotors and Cloak. Having to deal with this when you've got 12 Stalkers with Blink is hell. This right here, guys, is my hell. Poor HiGhDrA probably expected a lot of things, but this was one of the things that I'm sure that he has not prepared for. These benches continue to be annoying, and now in this 9-minute game, 25 workers have died. Juanito, our Mexican Terran, kind of cooking in game 1. Definitely not over yet. There is always a chance that the Protoss takes an amazing fight, but I wouldn't take an amazing fight here. I know that much. Honestly, it might actually be over. Look at the units lost resource step, guys. Oh, special cooking in game 1. Poor HiGhDrA. Not his game yet. Maybe I hosted with the wrong tab, but 26 workers have died in the game. So many things. I don't see how you engage this. HiGhDrA has dropped a fleet beacon. I am not sure what a single fleet beacon is going to do. Maybe he's going to try to get a mothership or something. Maybe one Tempest at a time, one carrier at a time, but he's going to be forced to fight this army before he gets any carriers or Tempest out, and it's going to be really difficult. Macfield Accelerator is done as well, and Specials is going to reinforce this with a bunch of Cyclones. This is exactly how my games look against Mech. Mech looks so powerful against me. For HiGhDrA. Maybe it's a Dutch Protoss thing. How is HeroMarine against Mech, guys? Is HeroMarine bad against Mech too? Do we all just get cooked by Mech, or is it just HiGhDrA on me? But this has been a rough game. Probably somewhat of an upsetting game as well, because I know how much HiGhDrA cares about these opportunities, cares about these series, always does his best, always mega excited. And it's only the first game of a best of 5, so there's no reason to panic. But this game was a nightmare. It's gonna try to set up a surround. We'll be able to jump on one of these things. Now has a couple Zealots and Stalkers and an Archon coming from the bottom left. This fight needs to be mega for HiGhDrA. Is there a world where the Stalkers can do it? Even if they get the tanks, all the benches is still here. Literally every single bench is still here. A single Phoenix out of the Stargate would actually be amazing right now. 5 Thors. Oh my god. 5 Thors, 5 Fortresses in Ben's world. This is no way. All special game 1. Nothing else to add. All special. Chat is just cooking me today. You guys voted for special and overwhelming nonetheless. First game did not look close, but I do think it's a bit of a unique game. I don't think every game is going to look like this, where you have Mech, where you have Cloak Banshees finding so much damage. And it's especially about Banshee number 1 and Banshee number 2. If those do a lot, then the rest becomes very difficult for Protoss. If the first 2 Banshees don't do that much, then it just becomes so much easier to deal with the follow-ups. So. Still a lot of Starcraft left to be played, but probably a game that HiGhDrA wants to forget about real quick. Gonna be a 3-1 for HiGhDrA now, though. I'd be very happy for HiGhDrA. Game 2 will be played on Frostline, and we host with the WCS mod for the Dead Worker thing. Hey, TKO is here. Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's a unique game. I think this game was a bit of an outlier, even if Special wins the series, which of course is possible. Otherwise, I would have never hosted this series. I don't think that the remaining games will be this convincing, this dominant. Hey, my mouse is dead again. It has happened again, guys. My mouse is just sometimes randomly dead for like 5 seconds, and then it works again. Did I see the big Deadlock update? If you're talking about the one of a couple days ago, yes, and obviously I have played. No, it's a best of 5. Theatram, is that your name? Everything is best of 5 on the Friday night. We do 4 series. This is the second one. $500 in total. The winner of this one gets 80 buckies. The loser gets 20. Yeah, I obviously have played Deadlock since the update. I have seen it. And I'll be honest, I'm a bit sad about it. I am not loving it as much as I was loving it before. And it's not because like I hate change or I'm afraid of change. It's just, I don't think that it's a good update. I feel like there's too much space right now. Everything feels a bit disconnected. I don't love the space between the base. Some of the creep camps feel random to me. Suddenly there's all the creeps and there is no creeps. So not a fan yet, but maybe it will grow on me. I will obviously continue to play because I love the game, love the characters, love the movement. Guess not. I can ask him, but I whispered him. So TKO is here now. Indy can make it today, but TKO is here, but then he left, so maybe he joined the wrong lobby? I don't know, I'm confused. Wait. So he joined the lobby, he was AFK, and then I asked him to join the next one, and now he's not there. Now I'm afraid that TKO might be disappointed, but... I didn't like it at all at first, but now I like it better, now that I know where the creeps are in the movement. How many games have you played, Cobble? Because I think I've probably done around 8 games, maybe 10, maybe 12 games since the update. And I'm still not loving it. I'm also getting incredibly high level lobbies. That might have something to do with the less joy. Because every game I'm getting cooked. And then I take a look at the end screen. Like I played 2 games after I was done casting the Pig Festival today. And it's like Phantom 2, Phantom 3. And I'm like, what am I doing here? I know I'm pretty good, but I don't know if I'm that good. So obviously every laning phase is hell. And sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. But it's more because of my teammates than it's because of me. Yeah, I don't know. I'm never too dramatic over change, and I'm not gonna sit there and scream like, oh, Deadlock is dead, I hate Deadlock. But up to this point, I don't love it, but maybe it's gonna grow on me. I'll keep on playing, I'll keep on enjoying, and I hope that I have some more fun again soon.
Round 2, fight!
Bottom left side of Frost line, we are looking at the main base of the man who had a very rough game 1. The kind of game that I think you just want to forget about. Pretend it didn't even happen. What Banshees, what Mac, can't remember it. This is HiGhDrA, my Dutch Protoss fella. And in the top right side, definitely looking better than the last time we had him in the Big Brain Bouts. That was a best of 5. That didn't really do his amazing career justice. Game 1 here looked a lot better. That looks like the Juanito of old. It's special. Hello, Sam. It's just inflation, mate. I didn't know that. I do think it's good though, because like MMR DK should always be a thing in every game. It doesn't have to be too extreme, but I think it... Warcraft 3, the game that I grew up with, did it really good. You just lose like 100 points per week if you don't play. So nothing too crazy, but it would definitely start adding up. And I think an entire level was 500 points. Or it was like you lose 10 points and a level was 50 points. Something like that. But basically within 5 weeks you would lose a level. And then if you don't play for a couple months you would lose multiple levels. But it would make sense to me. Hello Black Neo. Thank you so much for the 26 months. Reaper Hellion. HiGhDrA once more opening up with the Twilight Council. I don't think he's much of a Stargate enjoyer in this matchup. I don't really see HiGhDrA play a lot of Stargate in general. Maybe some Oracles in PvP, but can't really Rico and I guess some Oracle into whatever in PvC. I think against Terran he's not a Stargate believer. I am always a believer. Not so much in Oracle first, but maybe one Oracle into Phoenix. Just Phoenix. Once in a while a safety Void Ray. I think that could be useful. So we're gonna get a shield battery in the natural. We have no shield battery in the main base. 2 Reapers and a Hellion. If Juanito just clicks it, he should be able to get some damage. And that is absolutely what's happening here. Make it 3 workers, potentially even 4 if he goes for that one. That's exactly what he does. It's another good start here for SpeCial. This is definitely not peak HiGhDrA yet, guys. And I know that SpeCial is good and is obviously historically a much more accomplished player than HiGhDrA. And in his, well, it's a 5th. And in his prime was a lot better. But this is looking rough. This is not the HiGhDrA that I see in a lot of the weekly tournaments. The HiGhDrA that I know is very active on the ladder. 5 ropes is way too many, especially when you build a shield battery as well. So he gets a battery in the natural and he still loses 5 ropes to 2 Reapers and a Hellion. It's not even like this was a 4 Hellion opening or double Reaper, triple Hellion. No, 2 Reapers, 1 Hellion, 5 ropes is simply too many. At least the follow-up seems to be a little more normal, and hopefully HiGhDrA can clean things up and we can still make something of this. This has been 15 minutes of pain so far for the Dutch Protoss. Nothing really adding up for him. Double Widowmine drop in the natural. HiGhDrA, are we paying attention? I want to say I think he is. Oh, that's a late pull. That is a late pull. That's risky. Okay. Losing Oh, he lost the Stalker. So he lost the Stalker and 3 probes. No, this is not it yet, guys. This is absolutely not it yet. Well, by the looks of it, Cobble, it is. But it really shouldn't be. If HiGhDrA is a active 6k Protoss on the European server, and he has been 6k, and he's been playing a lot, and he's incredibly motivated, and SpeCial is just very, very, very slowly coming back. Not really that active yet. Did not look very sharp against Chem a couple weeks ago. It shouldn't look like this in my eyes. But well, it does, so maybe I'm just wrong. But yeah, this has been a nightmare best of 5 so far for HiGhDrA. I don't think that's because he's just getting outplayed or anything. It's just a little bit unlucky, and he's not playing as well as I know he can. Obviously, Starcraft is an incredibly difficult game, and if you're just a little bit off, if for whatever reason you feel like you can't show your best, things can snowball real quick, and it starts adding up. That is a pretty wild blink. Does snipe the Medivac, so that is nice. Gonna get a few more Stalkers. There is a Widowmine that gets dropped behind this army. And Guardian Shield. He's going up all the way in the bottom left, but the tanks are going to siege up in range of the Nexus. Like what you can say maybe about HiGhDrA is that he can be a tiny bit predictable. That he always likes to go for a couple gateway units into a quick losses and then get more gateways and then try to attack. Definitely seen this for a long time. Gonna warp in a few more Stalkers. He's gonna do whatever the hell he can to at least save this Nexus, and he will save the Nexus, but he has lost so many workers that it's not a Nexus save, guys, that I can get mega excited over. Being down 16 workers, this Liberator is bouncing from the main to the natural, back into the main. 12 kills already. Yeah, Juanito looks sharp today. Juanito looks good. Like, this is the SpeCial that we obviously grew up watching, that we have seen many times over the years. For HiGhDrA, this is a best of 5 out of hell up to this point. No, I did not forget. I mean, you don't have to tell me that the SpeCial was... I mean, I call him the best North American Terran player of all time, and I stand by that. He's been active in the GSL for a long time. He used to make it to BlizzCons. I know how good Juanito can be. But we also all know how hard StarCraft is. And if you don't play, and he hasn't played at this point for like 8-10 months, and then you just start coming back, you play a couple games. I mean, historically, like throughout his life, he won like, what, 40 games in a row against Chem? They played against each other a couple weeks ago. Chem won very convincingly, 3-1. That's just how quick things can go. You know, SpeCial in his prime was always beating Chem. They play a couple weeks ago. Chem gets a very convincing, relatively easy 3-1 victory. So it's not that I forgot how good SpeCial is. It's just that when players are coming back, you don't really know what level they're at. Australia is from America, but Australia plays Protoss. I was talking about North American Terrans. But tonight this is indeed not close. But it's honestly just been hell openings for HiGhDrA. Like, you guys can ask any of the top tier European Terrans, or not top tier, but let's say sub-top European Terrans. Guys like HeroMarine, whatever. HiGhDrA can be very difficult to play against. He can be good. He can make a lot of good choices in the beginning. He can have strong starts and a good economy. But these games are just falling apart at minute 4 or 5. And no one really looks good. If you're taking a crazy amount of damage at minute 4, nobody looks good. Unless your name is like MaxPax or Clem, and you're an absolute freak and you can turn anything around. So it's not really fair to judge HiGhDrA on the last 2-3 minutes, because once you're in trouble, you just continue to be in trouble. You're going to be in more trouble, and it all looks a little bit grim and ugly. And let's see if he can potentially have a much better start to Game 3, but... yeah, so far this is a horror best of 5. There's no other way to put it. These things happen. Not every series ever can be the craziest thing or the best thing we've ever seen. Oh my god, hype, crazy, competitive. This is indeed all SpeCial, and it doesn't look competitive. But I promise you guys that it can be and that it should be. Sometimes it just doesn't play out that way. Yeah. Let's see what Game 3 brings. Game 1 it was the Banshees. Game 2 obviously like Reaper Heli, and already getting so much, and then the Widowmine drop gets a bit more, and then it's the Liberator that is just the nail in the coffin. For HiGhDrA, it is key to survive the first 5-6 minutes. You can lose a couple workers, you just can't lose 15, 20, 25, whatever silly amount of workers we've been losing. And then I want to see how he can hold his own against SpeCial. Series not over, Roddy. I know, it's not over, but everybody's attacking me right now. Like, this was the worst idea ever by me, but I think I have reasons for it. And I feel like it can make sense. But yeah, so far it doesn't look like it makes sense. Well, let's hope he can turn things around. Also, because I know HiGhDrA very well, guys, and he's an emotional guy. He loves Starcraft. Like, he's so motivated to bring out the best version of himself in 2025 and try to make it to the Bulgarian tournament, try to qualify for a home Stir Cup. Like, he wants to take that final step so badly, and he's really doing his best. And if this Game 3 would look anything like Game 1 or Game 2, I know him, and he would take that very hard. It's not one of these series where I can then say, thanks for playing, mate, good luck next time. Like, he'll be proper sad about it. And obviously I don't want it, right? I want people to have a good time, win, lose, draw. Obviously the winners in general are always a bit happier than the losers. But now if you play a couple great games, most people will at least have peace with it. And this has just been a very rough series so far for HiGhDrA. So let's hope he can clean things up and turn things around here in Game 3. I feel like Neep was never even trying and won so much money, though. Neep was definitely trying, mate. There's been no one ever in the history of StarCraft 2 that was at once upon a time the best foreigner in the world, or the best player in the world, or the best even American in the world that wasn't even trying. Everybody tried really, really, really hard. Even Stefano. Like, Stefano may have been chilling once he was incredibly good, but to get so incredibly good, he was trying really hard. Everybody has to try. No, guys, I know Stefano very well. And he was already trying really hard in Warcraft 3 and it didn't work out. And then he tried really hard in Starcraft 2 and then he became the best. And then once he was the best, yeah, he took his foot off the gas and he started partying, and you know, the rest is history. You guys know how Ilias is, but to reach that level, he tried really hard. I can guarantee you that. Alright, round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
Top left side of Whispers of Gold. Come on, amigo. I know you can do so much better. This is not the real HiGhDrA yet. I don't know if his true skill is good enough to win this series, but I know he can make it a lot closer and a lot more competitive than the first 2 games. Let's see if he can turn things around here in Game 3. It is HiGhDrA. 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 Different ways of saying it. I don't think he's really stuck to one name, but it's been HiGhDrA for a little while now. He likes it. Bottom right side of Whispers of Gold, we are looking at the main base of the man who played against Cham a couple weeks ago, and that didn't really look like too much yet, but he was down to play a few more games after he started yapping to me about poker, because that's what he's mostly been playing ever since he did not qualify for the Esports World Cup in 2024. He said, that's it, I'm done for now, I'm gonna play some cards, and if there are big announcements, maybe I'll come back and I'll give it another shot and see if I can peek one last time. I'm Mexican Terran, SpeCial, aka Juanito. I would definitely not put Neep into that category though, Streaming Pulsar. Because even when StarCraft was already very similar to the way that it currently is, Neep was incredibly good. Yeah. Neep was also the one American player that Europeans would always talk so highly of. You guys know that historically the European elite can be a tiny bit like Europe good, NA bad, and even sometimes I would talk some smack on the Koreans or pros or the semi-pros and whatever, but Neep always got so much respect from the best players in Europe. So I think if Neep would be very serious and he would play again for a couple months, I believe that he could still matter. He could obviously not be inactive for like a year and a half, come back and be as good as MaxPax. Like, that's not a thing. But I'll give Neep a lot of kudos. But players from way further back, yeah, they would have a very hard time right now. HiGhDrA is going to rally a Zealot to the other side of the map. It all started with that first Zealot in Game 1 that could have killed an SCV, that didn't kill an SCV, and then chased a Marauder, didn't get the kill. I think that was already like a little bit of a missed opportunity. And against Juanito on a Friday night, you can't miss too many opportunities. That's the Shade finished up here. I mean, he's on top of Reapers. Ooh, so close to getting another hit off. Let's hope for HiGhDrA they can get one of the Reapers. He does not. That means that these two Reapers will just regenerate back to full HP. I mean, did get 2 SCVs in the Marines, but not a disaster. Just life would have been a lot better if he got either 1 more SCV or 1 more Reaper. And he definitely could have gotten an SCV, but wanted the Reaper. Hello, Claybos. Neep against Snoot. That would not be competitive. Neep would be too good. Snoot obviously a legend, and I love Snoot, but Neep was good, way more recent than Snoot was. Really good grenade placement over here, guys, by SpeCial. The 2 Reapers just dive into the natural, and the grenades make it impossible for the Stalker to easily chase. And it is again SpeCial in a 4-minute game that gets 4 probes and gets out of there as well with one of these Reapers. And none of this happens if the Adept would have just been able to get one of the Reapers. I'm losing faith. I'm losing hope. This is just all Juanito today. It is a very, very rough series. And I've seen HiGhDrA play so many PvTs against a lot of the European Terrans. Not quite Clem, but you know, the level below that. And he can look good, he can look competitive, but this looks like nothing. And I'm saying that because I know that HiGhDrA can do so much better. I really know that he can. Maybe he had a rough day, maybe he's just not feeling it. Everybody has bad days in Starcraft. I mean, this game maybe not as bad yet as the previous games at minute 5. It's not like it's game over. We've got a shot. That was, again, just a little too much. We're not supposed to lose that many workers. SpeCial's follow-up at home is 2 extra Rexes after the factory. So it is Rex, factory. We don't have a starport yet. We don't have a 3rd base. It would be very big for HiGhDrA if he can catch a little sneak peek of this in the main. I think that's HiGhDrA, right? HiGhDRA's announcer. I use HiGhDrA sometimes. It's a good announcer. Juanito is supply blocked, by the way. 70 out of 70. That's a pretty big one. That is a pretty big one. I guess we used the Terran get out of jail free card, eh? 70 out of 70, and look at that. Suddenly we are no longer supply blocked. And the Korean Zerg HiGhDrA was obviously a different HiGhDrA. Very nice guy. The one that played for Root Gaming for quite some time. I was friends with HiGhDrA, I always liked him. He was very kind. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings once, and then we ate spicy hot wings together with Cats and HiGhDrA and me and a couple of the other guys that were on Root Gaming back then in San Francisco. And that's when I got my picture on the wall, because I set a new wing record in Antioch near San Francisco, if you guys know where that is. Nice kiting here with the 4 Stalkers, getting some hits off and obviously getting a good scout, knowing that this is a serious move out. What are we doing, mate? Oh my goodness, loses 3 out of the 4 Stalkers. And the final Stalker is going to go down as well after the Cyclone gets the lock on. Well, I should not have said nice kiting, eh? I really should not have said that. We do have a Colossus out. The Colossus is going to try to do its best to keep the Marines and Marauders at bay, but HiGhDrA does not have much of an army. SpeCial is actually still giving him a lot of respect here by sieging these tanks so far away. I think he could have sieged them a bit closer. Best of 5 from hell. The little force field goes down. We're going to try to keep the Colossus alive. The Colossus does live, but the shield battery is about to get unpowered. I think the weapon is going to get denied as well. Of course it gets denied. The Zealot charge is done. This is not the biggest Terran army ever, but HiGhDrA, you cannot attack with 1 Zealot, 2 Stalkers, a Sentry, and a Colossus. Like, maybe we can just give up on this base. As painful as that is, it's 2 base against 2 base. Let's not lose any Colossus to save it. Well, he's gonna just try to save the Colossus. Loses the first one though. Stalker though, you cannot get in range of the tanks. You cannot get in range. Now it's Marines chasing down a Colossus. The first Colossus went down against the Marauders. The second one goes down against the Marines, and that is just it. I am afraid that is just it. This was a very rough series. I'm kind of sad for HiGhDrA, because I know that he can do so much better, and I know he's probably going to be a little bit bummed out about this. But of course we live and learn, right? Some days this is not your day. It's not the end of the world. It's a little best of 5, but I know that he cares. I know that he was eager to put on a show and play his best Starcraft and show what he's been made of and show the amount of hours that he's put in lately. This was just not it. A couple of mistakes. I mean, Stritz to the Man is literally like 5,800 MMR on a bad day. It's not mid-master, you know. That's, I don't know. That puts you like top 30, top 40 GM, maybe top 20 GM. So not exactly mid-master, mate. Mid-master is what Pi and Wingant are. And they're not gonna do very good against HiGhDrA. HiGhDrA does have a few more Colossus out, and this time takes a better fight, but I'm afraid it's just a little bit too late, and it's not even gonna be all that good in the end. Gets a couple nice hits off with that Colossus towards the end, but the Bio has +1. Everything that could go wrong in a single best of 5 went wrong here for HiGhDrA. And that is just it. After 9 minutes and 10 seconds, Juanito shows us that he is back. And the series a couple weeks ago against Gem, that didn't really look like Juanito yet. Today, it did look good on his side. Like, he just did his thing. Everything that he planned worked out well. You're welcome, SpeCial. GG, mate. That was, it looked way too easy. It looked way too easy. It looked good. Definitely, SpeCial did say that he was going to do better than he did against Gem. Well, he most certainly delivered. Congrats, mate. Obviously not the best series for us as fans, neutral spectators, but I'm happy for you. And I am sure that the next time we'll get HiGhDrA, that he's going to do a lot better. These things happen. Not every series ever can be the best thing that we have ever seen. And we have 2 more best of 5s to go tonight, and we've got an exciting announcement, or at least I have one, that I'm excited over. You guys believed in SpeCial. You guys said, Roddy, this ain't it. I have to take an L. You guys were right. I was wrong. It is what it is. It's a Dutch bias, guys, shining through. I'm a HiGhDrA believer, and I get punished for it. Dutch bias. I didn't say that he was going to win. I just said that I thought it would be close and competitive. Thank you to Redbone. Alright, guys. A third series of the night. I believe we stay on NA. I think it's Mute versus Milky Cow, if I recall correctly. I've had so many things to do and so much Starcraft to cast that I'm like, is it Mute Milky Cow? Yes, it is. So we'll take a little break and then we'll tell the gamers to get ready. Mute is our Peruvian Protoss. How did I do with this one, guys? Is this closing your eyes? Is this one-sided? Tell me what I did wrong or right. I think Mute is 0-2 in the Big Brain Bouts, but he has really done well in some of the NA Cups, especially the Pigosaurus Cup. He's had a couple of amazing runs and he's incredibly active. Mute is our Peruvian Protoss and Milky Cow is our Russian Terran. Milky, just like SpeCial, took a bit of a break, but came back and at first didn't look that good, but more recently when I saw him, I think in the Monday Night Weekly, he looked a lot better. So I'm excited for this one. I'll give you guys 15 minutes because I don't know if they're quite done yet. Announcement when my own announcement that is not related to EWC or anything, guys, is probably going to be made right before we start the main event. So after the upcoming best of 5. So we're going to do a break, best of 5, and then I'll share a little personal announcement. But do not get EWC excited or anything, guys. It has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. I was really hoping that EWC news would be out by now, and I thought that we would be able to talk about it, we'd be able to discuss it. But yeah, then the timers that were supposed to run out yesterday and today, well, they got rid of the timers, and now it says coming soon. So we got bamboozled again. Oh well, I'll take a tiny break, guys, and I'll see you soon. Couple minutes, and then Milky Cow versus Mute. Whoop whoop.